So, continuing on with our defensive statistical analysis of our teams and comparing that to whether good defenses make for better teams by comparing that defensive statistic to their winning percentage. What we need to do now is we need to calculate that defensive coefficient that I talked about last time. And to do that, what we're going to be doing is we are going to be taking those totals that we created for each team, the total rebounds, total steals, and total blocks. And then we're going to be dividing those by the total number of turnovers, which is a negative defensive statistic. And then that equation will give us something that we're just making up, but it's going to be called our defensive coefficient. And then we're going to compare that number to winning percentages. So to create that statistic, we are going to use an equation that's fairly simple. It's just going to be equals bracket, and it's just this times this times this. So it's your rebound total for the team times your steals for the team times your blocks for the team, and then bracket because we wanted to do all those things, and then the whole thing divided by turnovers. And we are not going to fill that in for the whole thing. We just want that for that one there. We can copy and paste that, but we don't need it for everything, just for the team totals. And another thing that we're going to do is, just to make our life easier later on, is we're going to do a named range, and we're going to name this cell the name of the team. So we want to make sure that we can see which team we're on. And to do that, we're going to use the freeze again. I've already got the top row frozen, so as I scroll down, I can continue to see that. But as I scroll over, considering there's a large number of teams, we want to be able to see which team we're looking at. So I'm also going to freeze it to the third column, which actually shows the team. So I'm going to click on that column, and then I'm going to go to view, and I'm going to go to freeze, and just up to current column, like that. And so now as I scroll over, I can see exactly which team I'm looking at. And then what we're going to do is we're going to click on the cell with our defensive coefficient, and we're just going to call that up here the name of the team. So Atlanta is A, capital A-T-L, and then remember to press enter. If you don't do that, it's not going to save it. So now I've got this defensive coefficient here, and then I've got it called Atlanta for Atlanta. So I'm going to copy this equation, and I'm going to go down to the next team, and I'm going to paste it. And then this one, I'm going to call, oh, look, I've already got something written up there. It's Boston, D.C. I want to call Boston. Right? And again, I can continue going down here now, and I can keep pasting that in for each one. And so this one here, and if you're not sure if it's picking up the right things, if you double click on it, it'll show which cells it's actually being used in the equation. And this is for Brooklyn, so I'm going to call this capital B-R-O. Press enter, except I don't even think I was in the right cell there. No, I wasn't. So I got to go up to here and call this one B-R-O. See if it'll let me. Tell me it's already used. Yeah. So I got to get rid of that one. So I got to go to where is it at? Format. I thought it was under data. Look, there it is. I was right the first time. Named ranges. And so this one here, I need to edit this because it should not be that cell. It should be this one. Right. Okay, so now that's correct. There we go. See? I think I fixed it. A62, done. Now I want to click on that. Good, I had the booklet up there. So see, I intentionally made that mistake to show you how to fix it. Sure, believe that. Okay, so let's copy that again. Control, copy. Very important that we get these right. Paste. Otherwise, when we go to do the next part, it's going to be a mess up. And again, I'm going to go and call this one Charlotte. Make sure I'm on the right cell this time. And then same abbreviation, which is also important, C-H-A, press enter. And then I'm going to continue to go down and do that for each of the teams, which you don't need me to talk through. So I'll just quickly do that and fast forward through that. And then we'll get to the next part. All right, so I think I got those all entered in, hopefully, and it saved all the named ranges, hopefully. Find out when we go to do the next step. So the next step, we are going to be inserting a new sheet. And what we're going to do is we're going to get the winning percentages from the sheet that I've attached to this assignment. So we're going to go into this assignment, and we're just going to copy all of that. Copy. And we're going to go in here and paste that in there. And we'll just call this winning percent. Okay, and so now what we're going to do is we're going to add a spot for this defensive coefficient. And I'll make this bold. Okay, and now I need to put the defensive coefficient for each team in here. And if I did everything correct in the last one, all I should have to do is put in equal and then type in the name of the team. And it should show up. Equals this equals PRO. And if I do that for all of them and they all work, then I did a good job. And as I go through this, I'll enter these in. Again, you don't need to listen to me talking while I'm doing that. But if you come across one that it doesn't work, go and check that data. It may be one that you forgot to press enter on, like I may find one. All right, so we'll go through this quickly. Okay, so I have one mistake there. So I have this SAK that I didn't do, so I don't know if I didn't enter it or if I entered in something different. It looks like I entered in SAC for Sacramento rather than SAK, so I'm just going to switch that thing as I did have it there. But if I did end up with one that actually wasn't there at all, I'd have to go back into my stats, find out the one that I missed, and then name it, and then come back and put that in here. So now I've got these defensive coefficients, and I've got the winning percentages. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a graph that graphs the winning percentage against the defensive coefficient to see if there's a relationship between them. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to select these, just the data for the winning percentages and the defensive coefficients. And then I'm going to chart it. And the type of chart that I want is called a scatter chart. Now, it may automatically do it, and it did, but if not, you go to chart type, and you're going to go down, and you're going to choose scatter. And so what the scatter does, although Sheets doesn't allow us to put in something called the line of best fit, which Excel does, but what it does is going to chart them and put them on a graph to show you if there's a relationship between them. And you could tell if there's a relationship if it seems like if you drew a line through the center of all the data points, if it would be trending either up or down, or if it's just random. And it definitely appears like, if we look at this graph here, that as winning percentage goes up, defensive coefficient goes up. There are some examples where that might not be the case. So we have some examples here where, let's see, you might have a team with a lower defensive coefficient, but a higher winning percentage. If we get up here, but it's not really a lot. Certainly we have a team here with a very low defensive coefficient and a very low winning percentage. And we do have some teams here with a little higher defensive coefficients, but low winning percentages. But for the most part, as these get higher, as the winning percentage gets higher, the defensive coefficient gets higher. So that means that the defensive coefficient is indicating at least a moderate relationship between winning teams. So teams that have a better defense tend to win more. with our, our top teams up here, our highest winning percentage is up around 700 or 70% plus winning percentage, have some of the highest defensive coefficients. The highest one in the league right there, with a winning percentage of almost 600 or 60%, and a defensive coefficient of, it looks like 114. See if we can find who that is. 114 or 598, I guess would be the easier thing to find here. So no, not Boston. 114 right here. So OKC, Oklahoma City. So they had a very high defensive coefficient, but didn't have as high a winning percentage as the top team, but still had a pretty good winning percentage. So it definitely looks like there's a relationship between good defense and winning percent, which we were able to demonstrate using this graph. Okay, so that's our assignment for today. So good luck. This one will take a little bit longer. Any questions? Email me.